Welcome back to Ranma Half Anime Review, part number 11. This is our reviewing episodes 71 to 77. Now, watching these episodes, it's like, okay, these some of the episodes basically, some of them I had to fast forward through them because they're utterly boring and very stupid concepts. Okay, there are two episodes in here that focus on Ryoga. Yeah, these are episodes 71 and 76. The first one is pretty much a clip show. The first one since episode 18. Why they did it for this episode, I have no idea. It's just stock footage of mostly just his interaction with all the characters of the series since he showed up in the damn series back in the first season. Rama and Akane are the only characters who are outside of those stupid stock footage stuff, and this episode accomplished nothing. Excuse me, absolutely freaking nothing. And some of the episodes here are actually pretty decent. I think that 72, 74 really good episodes. 72 is simply put this. No, 72 is My Fiance the Cat. This episode is actually pretty good. Yeah, this episode is actually a canon episode. Believe it or not, it is. This episode is an episode featuring Shampoo. And in case you're wondering for these episodes, this is our only appearance in these said episodes. And that's the strange thing about these episodes. That, okay, we have Shampoo here, and she only appears just in this episode. Yeah, there's an episode, one comes after this one, which is more like a life coach episode featuring Uko, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The Shampoo one is quite interesting. Like, she gets Rama a big bell, and it turns out this big bell is attached to a giant cat who wants to make Shampoo his bride. Yeah, this is a fun little episode. This is something I really thoroughly enjoyed. And it is something, though, that the guy who voices the guy who voices Richard Cox actually does something like, in the case of Inuyasha, this similar episode happened to this where he fought a giant cat. Not necessarily, not that I can think of. No, it's been a while since I watched Inuyasha, but yeah, it's like this episode. Basically, if you watch Inuyasha, this episode very much felt like an episode of Inuyasha. Well, there's only two reasons why. One, Ranma's voiced by the same actor that voices Inuyasha, and two, same person who worked in Inuyasha worked in the series. This series came before Inuyasha. Mm-hmm. Yep. And in case you're wondering, does this cat ever reappear in the series? No. This is the cat's only appearance in this only episode. In the manga, she only appeared for a few chapters, and that's the last he saw of the character. Yeah, the episode ends basically him trying to get more brides because like Shampoo turned him down with his little tiny bell thing. Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It's only this episode. 73. This episode is simply put just Principal Kuno hiring a teacher, like a PE teacher who basically acts like a regular, like almost like a social studies teacher, or more like an English teacher, but he's more like a life coach. Yeah, this episode I found to be pretty boring, to say the least. I mean, you have Kuno pops up in the episode. I mean, you only know what he does is hit the guy in the face, and that's it. And it would kind of, you watch the episode like, okay, is this episode going to lead anywhere? Is this going to be like next episode feature the guy? No, he doesn't appear for the next episode. And as for Principal Kuno, only appearance in said episodes. Also, the only episode to feature a high school episode, which I'm like, okay, the high school appear frequently in the series prior to this one. And it seems like at this point, it's like, okay, this is the only episode features in. The rest of them don't even feature the school. They even mention the school at all. Yep. 74. This one, despite being a filler, this one was quite interesting. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Ranma is changing hip aside throughout the city because of this underwear thing, which is nothing usual. And all of a sudden, they pass by a guy who becomes basically the one-shot character for this episode. He becomes a new disciple. And as new disciple, he does a lot of handiwork and a lot of cleaning. which when I've seen in live anime, this is nothing unusual. Yeah, a new disciple doing a lot of cleaning. Yeah, it's basically first step. So basically, prepares roof of the dojo room. He does some sleeping outside. He does some grocery shopping, and then Hippocyte, basically because he thinks he's a really good student, thought taking on his way, makes him a personal student, and have become an underwear thief. Yep. Why in the world he decided to do this for, I have no idea. Also, from some strange reason, like, in order to impress them, he even stole the Tendo sisters' underwear, like, all three of them. Like, apparently, Kanye accused Nikito, basically, of stealing it. Nope. It's all the new student. And by the end of the episode, he gathers up a whole bunch and form a giant freaking bra ball. Yeah, in case you're wondering, something like this actually does exist. I've seen it, like, it was on the History Channel. Like, somebody actually in the country and actually got up a bunch of bras to make this giant bra ball. There's been some balls basically made of this. Like, there's a ball made of barbed wire. Yeah. It's too bad this character's returned, but I thought him to be quite interesting of a character. And for a standalone character, for a one-shot character, he's actually quite interesting. You don't know much about him aside from the fact that when he first shows up, he's carrying a barrel of rice. Why he just happened looking for the Anthony Gold School of Martial Arts, I have no idea. The episode itself doesn't really explain it or how in the world he knows who Hippocyte is. I mean, I get the fact, yes, he's a martial artist, fine. But is he that well known in Japan? As far as I can tell in the canon episodes, aside from the underwear thing, him in martial arts is not even known at all. Yeah. Pretty good episode. 75 is another canon episode of the series. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's pretty much a canon episode of the series. 75. 74, even though it's a filler, but 75 is definitely canon. Yeah. Here's the thing with this one. Okay, now this one is simply put that Hippocyte wants a big Christmas tree to hang all his collection on. Basically, his underwear he stole from a bunch of women over the course of the series. So, Ranma and his father go out to find it. Ganta gets lost, and Ranma, basically desperate, calls his fiance to look for his father. They find him really easily. Where is he? At some spoiled rich kid's house, where he just slouches around and eats a bunch of food. And he wears a bow tie and a pair of sunglasses. Oh yeah, and like usual, Rama beats up his own father. This is why I have a problem with the fact his son beats him up. No, he really doesn't. Nope. Yeah. So, a lot of the episode is just him being lazy. Like, probably the most interesting part of this episode I thought was interesting that the mother of this kid was quite interesting, and the fact this kid actually had an old video game. But look, if it looked like based on the control that I saw in this episode, it looked like the way it looked. It looked like the Japanese version of the NES. That's what it looked like to me, despite the fact how it's in English. It's not the new model. Yeah, it's probably a new model of the NES. Well, the Japanese version of it. That's what it looked like to me. The controller, I would say definitely the controller also kind of made me of the the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, in case you're wondering, I have played like almost every single Nintendo game system at some point in my life, except for Switch. I actually have never played. Actually, that was not Switch. I actually have played a little bit of Switch. I've never played the Wii U. Yep. And they just play video games for a bit, and eventually they get them outside, and then the episode ends with Rama carrying his father, who's basically in his panda form, back home, and the kid somehow falls in the back. Oh, in case you're wondering, does this kid return? Does he appear in the next episode? Nope, he does not. Despite the fact 76 is a canon episode, it's a rogue episode, which I'm not really a big fan of those centric episodes. Now, I don't mind when he shows up, but episode focus on him is not interesting. Here's the reason why. Because a lot of the time in these episodes, he's pining over Akane, who it's kind of hinted that she has feelings for him too, but doesn't really go anywhere at all. Nope. So he comes to school, and it's not brought up again after this, him going to school. Yeah, as far as I can tell, I don't think he ever went to high school. Nope. That could explain his terrible sense of direction. And there's hints basically when he's in his pig form that, well, apparently he knows how Connie sleeps because he sleeps in Connie's bed when he's in his pig form. And, well, it doesn't really go any place at all. It's an okay episode. I didn't really enjoy it at all because I'm not really a big fan of rogue-centric episodes. Though this is the second one in a span of 7 episodes. Yep. The next episode is quite interesting. Hepasai, coming from his usual underwear thief, spots a piece of underwear and pantyhose in a tree by panties, and it turns out it's actually a kid's panties. How the heck it got there or when it got there is never explained. He just somehow lands, and of course he runs across a group of preschoolers, and somehow he meets the smoking hot teacher. He falls head over heels for her, and he still carries his bag with him. Of course, he does not tell her that he's actually underwear thief, that she's bringing up the conversation. Yep. And apparently she was allowed to take home a teacup for some reason. Yeah, it's particularly never explained. This whole relationship is just a one, and of course, for this character who's quite interesting of a character, and when she finds underwear thief, she just stomps off, and, well, of course, how his obsession with underwear. This is something that, well, like he kind of got knocked out, basically, because apparently he was basically, because he's an addict, for obsessing over underwear. Apparently he was suffering from withdrawal. Apparently Get Back Game was basically cover him with underwear, which he was crazy for. And this turned off the preschool teacher who he did a thing for. And she stops off and, well, she doesn't want to see him again. I don't think this character returns. Yeah. But of all these episodes, I would probably say the weakest episodes of all these is 71. Yeah, this was 71. I consider it weak, mainly because it's a clip show. Same thing with 76. Despite being a canon episode, it's weak. The Rogue episodes, generally, in my opinion, are pretty weak because I've never really cared much for the character. When he shows up, it's fine. But when it's focused on him, it's not very interesting at all. No. I have nothing against the character or his voice actor. It's just that when stuff focuses on him exclusively, it's just, for me, not interesting at all. And how is it that Connie is completely oblivious to the fact that her Peach-chan is actually Ryoga? Yeah, she knows Ranma can turn into a girl, Shampoo can turn into a cat, Moose can turn into a duck, Gensa can turn into a panda, but she does not know anything about Ryoga turn into a pig. Yeah, she knows nothing about that at all. It's one of the most dumbest things that the series establishes. And if I remember, I don't think she ever finds out his secret. Yeah, it's one of the most dumbest things the series does. So, aside from 71, 76, I would say the only weak episode of these episodes is probably episode 73, the one featuring the life coach. Yeah, despite that being a filler episode, it's not very interesting. Yeah, sometimes the filler episodes are generally not very interesting. Some are, some aren't, but I would say of the filler episodes we had here, which was only about 4 per se, 71 and 73 are just, well, 71 is boring, 73 is not interesting, 74 is probably the best filler episode of this bunch. Yeah, I would say the best episodes of this bunch of episodes is 72, 74, and I dare say 77 is actually a pretty decent of an episode. Yeah. 75 is okay. Yeah. For a canon episode, it's just okay. That's just my opinion of it, just okay. Even though it's a Christmas episode. Yeah. Not much else to say about these episodes, but yeah. Now, my next review, now you're probably thinking, okay, last couple of reviews, I've done 7 episodes. For the next 2 videos, I'm only doing just 5. Why? There's 10 episodes left. I want to keep stretching this out as much as I can, okay? But, excuse me, my next review, my new review of the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. Okay? But see you next review. Bye.